You are watching the 91st edition of the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, and a great camera shot of the Serving Championship Rodeo pivot riders as they ride those black horses and silver saddles out the north gate here inside NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you stand, if you would, for our invocation. Then please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance and our national anthem. And gentlemen, please remove your hats. Thank you. Again, please remain standing for our invocation, the Pledge of Allegiance, and our national anthem. Our invocation tonight will be given by one of our Rodeo Houston scholars. This is Alexandra Trevino.
Friends, please bow your heads and pray with me. Dear gracious and heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to gather today to enjoy this great rodeo. We ask today, Lord, that you be with us all, grant health and your protection to the talented rodeo professionals, volunteers, fans, and livestock. Protect those who could not be with us tonight, especially our loved ones who are serving this great nation. Continue to guide us, both during the show and after, beyond these stadium walls. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you for that, Alexandra. Our national anthem salute is brought to you by Cavender's Boot City. Charlotte Cleithermos from Florence Campbell Elementary will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. The Star Spangled Banner will be performed by popular Houston artist The Suffers. And carrying our nation's flag, Shelby Pearson.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
What an awesome patriotic salute. Thank you to Cavender's Boot City. to the test. Get it all for gold or go home broke. When they open your day, welcome to the show. For the world's biggest rodeo, where the stars lie looking night underneath that Texas sky. Look at that. Ready for a ride? Yeah, you better buckle up and hold on tight. Where the bayou to these streets meet the country road. Welcome to the hard-running field, but he handles it. Welcome to the show. Now, yeah, here we go. Hello, Houston. See what happens when you have a good dinner at night? That's right. Howdy, everybody. I'm Bob Tallman, none other than Boyd Paul Hamus, and we brought with us the brains of the group. This will be Andy Seiler. He is going to be the next governor of Florida or someplace like that, I think. Welcome tonight, everybody. Wherever you might be in the world, understand something. Super Series number 4. Second round, Boyd always likes to emphasize the fact about to bring the Big E's, that's the eliminators, in the bareback riding, bronc riding, and in the bull riding. It could be that the same in the calf roping and the team roping, too. We almost started with the eliminators last night in those contests. But Bobby T, the older I get, the more sympathetic I am to age and what it does to your body. And I never rode bulls, okay? And I'm looking at a guy like Brady Portner who's 28, which would seem young to us right now, but that means he's been riding bulls since he was 15. He's got about 13 years of doing this. And this guy has won many big rodeos, from his hometown rodeo in Caldwell, Cheyenne. We have not got him the win here in Houston, but if Brady continues to ride tonight like he did last night, you place twice in any Super Series, you're guaranteed to move on to a semifinal. So I'm sticking with the guy from Idaho.
I'm not going to ask for your sympathy, but I do want you to excuse my mistake. Last night, I kind of counted Wade Sundell out, and you should never do that. And he proved it when he rode last night. He rode a horse called Doughboy and wins the round. Just when I think, well, maybe he's getting a little long in the tooth, the former Houston champ, the former world champ, may not be able to win the $50,000. He goes out and throws this ride and proves to me and everybody else that he's still got the fuel in the tank.
Yes, he's got plenty of fuel in the tank. Let's go to the fourth member of our broadcast team. She's down on the arena floor. Say hello to Patty Smith.
Thank you so much, Boyd. Yes, I am down here on the star stage where the Chainsmokers will be performing in just a couple of hours, and I also have my eyes on a cowboy, and it is in a tie-down roping competition right behind me. It is Marcos Costa. He took home first place money last night with this ride, scoring a 9 and 8. The only cowboy of the 8 to do it under 10 seconds. He's $1 million cowboy from Brazil, a 4-time NFR qualifier, a 2017 world champion, but he has never won Rodeo Houston, and he is looking to chip away at that just a little bit more tonight.
That, my lady, is a fabulous pick. And he is, as she pointed out, a world champion tie-down roper. The contest will begin with tonight. It is presented at Rodeo Houston by Boot Bar. And let's watch it one more time because it was that good. He was the only guy to tie one under 10 seconds last night. The aforementioned Marcos Costa, a little bit bigger cattle, and so that plays into how they finish. Cooper and Cooper, no relation. Hanky rounds out the top 4, another past world champion. We reverse order tonight. So who went last night goes first tonight. So we start with a 32-year-old from Stinnett, Texas. Went to college at Weatherford College, Tarleton State University in Stephenville as well. 3-time NFR qualifier, 2012 Resist All Rookie of the Year, Reese Reamer. And he makes it fit in a hurry. That's good, folks. Anytime you get him caught before the 50-yard line, a little trouble flanking. But everything else was, other than the flank, Andy, everything else about that was good watching.
This black horse puts him in perfect position. Dismount is great. He holds his slack so that the calf is standing when he gets there. But as Boyd mentioned, his hand slips off the flank, so that little bobble, if you will, mistake, Turn in a time of 11 and 3, and now Reese, Bobby, has to hold on to see if that's going to be quick enough.
Well, Boyd's really got my attention on this age thing tonight and talking about pains and aches. And we're not handing out sympathy here, okay? So being sympathetic because of age, boy, you guys would be taking me to lunch every day and then putting me down for a nap. We ain't got time for that in this rodeo business. The 11th ranked man is only 24 years old.
We did that, Bob, your scooter would run out of electricity.
Yeah, I got to ride it with 2 feet. I haven't got that kind of balance anymore. Californians, be proud. He lives in Winter Springs, California. I still find a lot of time that I spend on the West Coast that this kid is an all-around hand. Woo! Well, I called him a kid. We drove right past him. He's walking down the hallway tonight. He's a man for his age.
Can I ask both of you a question?
Sure.
We know there's different calves for each Super Series, so we're not roping the calves in 4 that we roped in 1, or Series 2, or Series 3. This appears to be a better and more cooperative pen of calves than we saw in the 3 previous Super Series. Am I imagining that?
No, I agree.
I don't think so either, and it goes to show when the young man that you just watched, Bruxton, handles that calf better and everything comes together, he doesn't make that little bobble, it's a smooth finish. So that's what Luke Potter of Maple City, Kansas needs to be paying attention to. Do everything right. 2020 Resist All Rookie of the Year, won Sydney, Iowa, and Columbia River Circuit Finals champ, but no money won. Night number 1 of our 4th Super Series.
6, Luke, that is not what he came here to do. So, Potter, from the heartland of Kansas, fires, and you just look at his eyes, and it's like the old George Strait song. He'd like to have that one back. This is the only guy who tried one under 10 last night, Bobby T. And Marcos Costa, the Brazilian who now lives in Tolar, Texas.
Well, he's 21 ranked in the world. He's 32. So we're back into the 30s. Perfect. Now watch this buckskin horse keep that rope tight. Get to him. No wasted motion. Yippee-yahoo. We've done it again. Done it again.
Second man. So, Bob, Andy, watch how important it is to leave the calf standing. Did you notice that he didn't have to get the calf up? You get to the end of the rope and the calf is already laying on its side. You need to get it up before you can go on with the tie. You got to get the calf on all 4 legs. Anyway, he did a beautiful job of that. So here's one of the greatest ropers of all time, Tough Cooper, and we asked him, what's it going to take to make it to the semifinals?
Rodeo Houston is a marathon. You got to keep winning, keep advancing, and keep your dial tones for you and your horse exactly the way it's supposed to be.
Well, the marathon continues in round number 2.
$1,000 from round 1 for the man who's won over $3 million and 4 world titles out of Decatur, Texas. That gray horse, the stout flea-bitten gray with those ears perched forward, puts him right where he wants. Now, down the rope he goes. Has to get the calf up. Little bobble with the string, but 10 and 2 at what would be if we were in a football setup, the 50-yard line. That just goes to show you how good his groundwork is.
Well, to those that were concerned about him having some pulled muscles during the Wrangler NFR in December, he's been on the rehab. He's got a lot of people in his support system. He's in mighty good shape. When you're going to be 10-2, what you do is you tell this guy who's riding in the world champion Shane Hansey, that's what the bar is. 9-6 to 10-2 is where the money is. Does that work, boys?
Absolutely, but he was 14-3 last night. Still finished in the top 4. He's a former Rodeo Houston champion. He won this rodeo a dozen years ago in 2011. 5'10", 150 pounds. So, for example, Luke Potter's 6'2", 180. Tuff Cooper's 5'11", 180. A little smaller than the rest of the field, ran him a little farther, so he's going to have a little more trouble with these bigger cattle. And at 13 and 5, that is going to put him 6th right now in this particular round.
I've been a Shane Hansey fan for a decade or more. And I still am. Win, lose, or draw. Because it's his attitude, Andy. It's his attitude.
Well, the only thing that has me concerned for Shane is he will be on the bubble. So round 3 of our 4th Super Series will be ever so important. Bo Cooper of Stettler, Alberta, Canada. The 2021 Resist All Rookie of the Year. 10 and 6 on the first night of our 4th Series. That was worth $2,000. 10 and 6 tonight would be 4th. Just shows you how much everything is tightened up from night 1 to night 2. He was right on the barrier line. If he got out, this could be outstanding. Calf gets up. Come on, Bo. Keep hustling. There you go. The time to beat was 9 and 6, and Bo ties it. That's the kind of run he needed to put himself in a lot more comfortable position coming up for tomorrow night.
Well, that makes it an international challenge now between Canada and Brazil on Texas soil. All right, long, tall, and handsome. Did you tell me that Jake Pack from Ellensburg, Washington just moved to Stephenville, Texas? One of you said that last night?
I believe so.
I didn't say it because I don't know that for a fact. I do know he's 6'4", 205, went to college at the University of Wyoming.
Backing that sorrel horse in the corner.
I do know he got a check in Great Falls, Montana, and Ogden, Utah. Here you go, Andy.
But he did not get a check last night. Now, there's the flank. Calf kick. And at 11 and 5, that will put him down, I believe, 6th. So this year, we're paying out a little bit more money for 5th and 6th. So he may get a small check, but come tomorrow night, that's when he'll need to make his best run if he's going to advance out of Super Series number 4.
Oh, now they say no time. The calf's going to kick free. Well, it is an international affair. You were looking at Luke Potter right there. Now we get the next nod. That is a perfect sizzle. When you step off and that black horse goes to backing up, you better have your game plan. Bounce a little, Henry. Big calves, as Boyd says, but 2 wraps and a half minutes later, he's just thinking, what could I have done to be any quicker? I'm not quite sure what Tuff Cooper was doing there, but he was relaxing his feet. He's going to get a 4th place check. Marcos tossed to Bo Cooper. And here it is. There's the Brazilian at the top, 5,500. Cooper right behind him. It was all brought to you by Boot Barn.
It's the Rodeo Houston Super Series. Here's how it works. We invite 40 of the top competitors in each of our 8 events. They're divided into 5 Super Series. Each one of those events is 3 rounds. When they conclude, the 4 highest money winners advance to one of our 2 semifinals. There are 10 in each of the semifinals. We take the top 4 from semifinal 1 and semifinal 2 and advance them to the championship. The 6 that do not advance from each semifinal get one more chance. They'll go to one of our wild card competitions. The winner of each wild card will advance to the championship. They join the others for a shot at the $50,000. The event winners from each Super Series will receive a 52-quart ultralight cooler from Arctic Outdoors and a custom Les Paul style electric guitar created especially for Rodeo Houston champions. And that's how the revolutionary Rodeo Houston Super Series works.
Whoa, we must be hurting for some DO work. Bareback riders are going to do it when we come back.
Anyone who knows rodeo knows there's nothing more important than safety. That goes for our fans too. The Crown Royal Riders want everyone to make it home safely. As you enjoy Rodeo Houston, please make sure to always assign a designated driver. Crown Royal wants you to drink responsibly.
Hey, don't forget, we'd love to have you inside Energy Stadium for the entire rodeo. We realize that's probably not possible. However, you can watch us every night at home on 3 different networks: the Cowboy Channel, Telemundo, and Valley Sports Southwest. So for whatever reasons you can't get here, take us with you at home. Enjoy it from your lazy boy or your couch on Telemundo, the Cowboy Channel, and Valley Sports Southwest.
For all of you that are interested in captions, we're going to make it easy for you. Just point your camera right now to the QR code on the center screen, and it will take you directly to our closed caption mobile app. Do it now.
Thanks to Cavender's Boot City for sponsoring our hard-working arena crew. They're down in the dirt on the chute, making it all work for us behind the scenes.
He's got his bandana on. Mom's keeping track of the scores on her day sheet. And Mama just took that QR code to follow along with captioning. Bareback bronc riding is our first rough stock event of the rodeo tonight. Chevron is proud to present it. What does bareback bronc riding look like when it's done right? It looks like Will Lowe. Here is the 3-time champion of the world, the 40-year-old superstar. He tied with Orrin Larson last night. Then Rocker Steiner and Jaco Roper also cashed checks in the bareback riding. Keep your eyes on Jacob Lees. He could be the guy that upsets the apple cart tonight.
That name mentioned, Mr. Lee's the number 4 man in the world from Caldwell, Idaho. Rum flavored the 18-year-old bay mare from the Calgary Stampede. 80 last night. Come on, Jacob. Oh, he gets off to the side, away from his hands, and he slapped the horse early on.
You can measure seconds, Andy, but you can't measure heart. This guy is trying so hard to stay on. Not to save his life. The safest thing would be to let go. But no, he's just trying to find his way back in the middle. And oh, I see why they called him rum flavored. You'd need some rum after a ride like that.
Okay, I just went through the ages. I got a 40, a 24, and everybody else is a teenager in this event. Here's one of them at the age of 21, Jaco Roper. Now this horse, Crockett, comes from the Calgary Stampede. You watch this bay mare. I don't think I've ever said anything negative about Casey Field, the 6-time champion of the world, but this horse tested his mettle about 4 days ago as good as I've ever seen a horse tested. Nearly bucked him off.
And you don't do that. Casey owns the horse.
Oh, yeah.
This horse might own Casey that night.
Here's Jaco! Woo! Totally different ride performance for this horse.
That's your sky cam right there. How many other rodeos you go to where you can go, there's a look at it from your sky cam. But you were able to be right over the top of that cowboy while he made his 8-second effort. And folks, it was more than an effort. It's a payday. 83 points. Oklahoma, Oklahoma. Showing you how to do it right.
I thought he was going to start dancing right there. Oklahoma.
We'll save that for later, Bobby. Stepping across, Bronc Marriott of Woods Cross, Utah. Had a lot of success in California last year. You listen to him.
Push on him a little bit.
Putting your hand in a bind. Joe Cherry, the horse, out of the world champion stallion, graded coconut. All kinds of power. Folks, that hurt. Not only did he get jerked down, but I believe this horse is going to kick him in the back once he hits the ground.
Good thing he's wearing that vest. I tell you what, that vest is padded, a little bit like a flap jacket. Watch this. Oh, just missed his head. But right there, right on the rib. I might save his life right there.
Well, Will Lowe is next to go, one of the older bareback riders, and we asked him, what about these kids? What's going on here?
Well, there's so many really good young guys coming up that keep pushing you, you know. Can't say enough about the new crop of bareback riders that have been coming in the last 5 or 10 years. So,
a lot of good ones, but they can learn a lot from Will. Won the round or split it last night with an 85.5. Another Calgary bucket horse out of graded coconut, 9-year-old gelding.
there he is.
Go, Willie, come on!
Bob Cherry.
Yes, sir!
Come on, y'all.
Yes,
That's the
sir.
Texas boys. You need some Texas help. Bucked his back tag off.
You see the sheer size of that horse?
You know, the horse is mammoth and just so hard physically on your body. I mean, this horse, you just take it's like getting in the ring with Mike Tyson and not being able to even, throw a counter punch. 81 points for Will. That's only the second qualified ride of the night.
All right, let's go to a kid that is 17 years younger. His name is Evan Batoni. Every place I watch him ride all winter long, he represents the Navajo Nation from Tonalea, Arizona. This kid can ride him, and he'll ride some rank ones. And he won't mess around in there either. He gets down, says, let's go. The money's in the main. You got to get the main out of the chute. Look at the try.
The Painted Pistoletta Derby Championship Rodeo. Watch the change of direction. Every one of these horses is either going to have a lot of power or some serious tricks. That horse changes directions about 6 times in 8 seconds. And Evans able to make it to the whistle. 75.5 for the Arizona Kid.
So now we're going to another great veteran by the name of Orrin Larson. 8 trips to the national final. This Canadian went to school at the College of Southern Idaho. Won back-to-back college national championships. Tall for a bareback rider, though. 6 foot 165, and the horse is called the Duke. Well, Pilgrim, he's going to be a fist fight as well. Over the neck. Ooh, how did he get back from that? Usually it's very unforgiving. And a pen of horses like this, Bob talked about at the start of the show how these are kind of the eliminators, the ones that won't let you make a mistake, but you see his left leg go over the mane of the horse? That was a tiny little mistake that keeps you from holding on. Again, when the left leg kicks over the top of the mane, that just, it hurts his ability to stay where he wants to, but didn't affect him much, as we get a score of 77 points.
Let's go to the winner at Tucson, Arizona, one of the big 20 rodeos in the system, to a 20-year-old at a West Texas College national intercollegiate competitor right now, Cooper Cook, the Mesquite Thorn. Boyd watched him mark his horse and ride him for 84 at Denver. Attaboy, Coop. I want to give credit to all of the college rodeo teams and colleges, about 200 of them. That has got to be one of the greatest foundations of rodeo after junior rodeo. College coaches, God bless you. There's Coop, 82 and a half.
That'll put him number 2 for the time being. He'll win no worse than 3rd. And if he can keep collecting checks, he might ride that one all the way to Conroe. There we go. Finally get him off. But our final bareback rider just continues to ascend each and every time we watch him. Rocker Steiner of Weatherford, Texas, currently sits number 2 in the world, the reigning Resist All Rookie of the Year, who also qualified to the National Finals Rodeo in that same season. Finished here number 2 a year ago. And I guarantee if you had a conversation with him right now, he would tell you that's stuck in his crawl and he wants to change it.
He's up behind that rigging. Trying to be quiet. Greatest thing he's got going besides talent is his family's support.
He ain't looking, Damien. Let's pull around this side. You just got to grab the halter and pull it around. I don't want to turn it out back. Get that up. Go on, hold on. Get him right, Roger.
Let's do it there.
Now let's ride. 5th generation Texan.
Weird horse. That's a horse called Rose Valley, a national finals bucking horse that I bet they put in the E-pen out there because this horse has a weird trip. If anybody can take advantage of it, Rocker does, and Rocker did. How about 86 points? Save the best for last for the Weatherford, Texas Cowboy. You mentioned his dad, Sid, his granddad, Bobby, all here with him.
Now the family lineage goes on and on and on. How wild can it be in the second round of this Super Series? You're looking at the horse underneath Evan Batoni. This is what you do when you get out of shape. You try to get back, and when you can't, you take a whooping. Oh, thank you, Lord, it did not kick him in the head. Oh, he said there's a sign, and there's a 40-year-old saying, you kids got to keep trying. I ain't leaving.
Tonight it was Rocker Steiner with the biggest score, 86 points, followed by Roper and Cook. But here is the money board. Rocker is almost guaranteed to move on. Lowe and Larson are also in pretty good spot. Our bareback riding is going to be tight, and it is brought to you by Chevron.
When we come back, it's Team Roping. Hey, rodeo fans, join today's Chick-fil-A Houston Selfie Race. 3 lucky fans will battle it out across Houston, making their way to the finish line right here in NRG Stadium. Here's how to play. Step 1, take a selfie, and here's the best way. Step 2, upload your selfie on Twitter or Instagram using the hashtag Rodeo Houston. The race will take place in just a few minutes, so send in your selfies now. Welcome to the show.
I want to say thank you to Houston Methodist, our official healthcare providers for the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, and supporters of Rodeo Houston Sports Medicine. They are caring for our rodeo athletes.
It's autograph time at the Fan Zone, presented by Texas Farm Bureau Insurance. There's a good look at Marcos Costa. You can meet him and some of our other Rodeo Houston athletes, bullfighters, Bo Cooper, Shane Hansey, Rodeo Royalty, and so many more. And we have 2 of them, sections 103 and 124. And who knows, you might even pick up a Rodeo Houston belt buckle. All of that at the Fan Zone.
Lots of smiles inside NRG Stadium As we return to the action, you want a little popcorn? Of course you do, especially when you're that age. Hey, you want a little team roping? We sure do. And it's brought to us by Mrs. Bears and KSOU CV11. Last night, how about Thompson and Hendricks? Took all the money in round 1 of Super Series 4. Only 3 catches. That blew my mind. Here's the look. I see some bouncing back happening tonight. I really do.
First team to try and do so will be Jeff Flanagan and Douglas Rich. No time in round 1. Steer takes a step to the right, and they handle it. 7 and 6. A little bit of redemption, as you got to be sympathetic for last night's team rope, and it was not what we're accustomed to seeing.
No sympathy. By dictionary, you can look it up. Lightning. How many friends do you have by the name of Lightning? Aguilera from Athens, Texas, over on the east side of the Lone Star.
Always reminds me of the Lyle Lovett song of If I Had a Boat.
Oh, I'd take my wagon.
No, if I were like lightning?
Yeah. You can go on my boat anytime. Colby Payne, the champion at Austin, from Stevensville. He'll be on the healing side. Aguilera's been the champion at San Antonio, Fort Smith. Ooh! 1 hind foot. There'll be a penalty associated with that, plus 5. 5 seconds for only catching 1 hind foot. So their total is 3 aces, 11.1.
I'd scare him by the shade tree and I'd scare him by the light pole, but I would not scare my pony on my boat out on the sea.
I was wondering where Bob's wagon and the Lyle Lovett song was going.
His wagon.
Jackson Tucker and Wyatt Cox, the big winners in Ogden, Utah. I like Bob's version better. Sorry, Lyle.
Put my bicycle in my wagon and put it on my
They've got both coasts covered, North Carolina and California. 2 horns. Come on, Wyatt. There. Oh. Flip another leg. 11 and 5 after catching 1 hind leg, taking that 5-second penalty.
So, when you come out to a rodeo, you almost expect to meet at least one Bubba, right? So here's our token Bubba Buckaloo from Kingston, Oklahoma. Well, when you look at this 34-year-old's resume, it's filled with championships. National Final Qualifier 2018, he's the header. Cole Davis in Stephenville, Texas, the healer. And you win. There you go. Second clean run of the night. We've already caught more steers tonight than we did all of last night. 6-6 puts Buckaloo and Davison number 1.
All right, we had some international flavor in the last event. We got it again. Colton Schmidt comes from Barhead, Alberta, Canada. We've had a lot of Canadians entered here. That's the young man in the purple shirt. 2 times to the finals with the one and only Jake Miner. Ho, ho, it worked. Now, Jake. I see our feels like Judge riding up. He wants to look at that head catch.
And it did work, Bob. It wasn't gonna. If he pulls the slack right there, it's no time for illegal head catch. So he waits. You see that? If that pulls tight right there, he's figurated the horns, that's illegal. But once that curl falls open, that's called a half head catch, and that's completely legal. And our field flag judge rode up to verify.
And they were 8-6 in competition.
Quinn and Mack, Kessler and Cutler. Holden, Utah, and American Falls, Idaho. They were 11-9 last night. It's worth $1,000 apiece.
The healer is staring at him like, if you miss this here, I'm going to whoop you in the alley.
No.
Utah missed it.
You spoke it into existence.
Andy, have you ever been to American Falls, Idaho?
I have not.
There's one of the most beautiful rivers that runs along that little town.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fly fishing. Oh, it is so beautiful.
To Andy's point, the power of life and death is in the tongue. So let's just speak some championship runs over Riley and Brady Minor. The two brothers that have done this at such a high level, 11 times the finals for the header, the National Finals Rodeo, 13 times for the healer, 35-year-old header, 38-year-old healer. As Bob pointed out last night, their family's been inducted into the Ellensburg Rodeo Hall of Fame. There's 7 generations of the Minor family. Now, they had no time last night, but this is where the Super Series format can really help. Because there's not an aggregate. You don't pay out on the cumulative time over 3 runs. You simply pay out on each night. And whoever wins the most money advances. So, although they won no money last night, they could come in here and do this and tie for the number 1 spot.
You watch this replay, guys. He could have been there a little quicker, but he's a hair late getting out of there. He did singing. And the perfect trap. Oh, you did good, little brother. You did good, 6 and 6. So when you put it in context now, there's a pair of 6-6s and a 7-6 holding third.
8-6 is fourth, so basically, they really want to be 8-6 or faster. You want to win in the team open now, it'd be $1,500 for the team. And if you could place in 2 out of the 3 Super Series, you almost always advance. If you win money in 2 out of the 3 rounds in the Super Series, so that means 8-6 or faster for the team that was 7-3 last night to win night 1 of Super Series 4.
For those of you just joining us, this rodeo paid $2,178,000, Andy.
Well, if this team can get some more of it, oh no. We are going to break the barrier. So 5 and 8 will become 15 and 8. First time we've had to explain it tonight. But they did not give the steer a proper head start. There's a great look at it. Watch. His horse, the Palomino horse, goes through the barrier before the neck rope comes off the steer. So he did not give the steer a proper head start. 15 and 8, the total time with that penalty.
I was pretty proud of his heel shot any way you look at it. There he's waiting for that steer to go to the left. Here he's going to reach for him. That was good, Riley. That's the head catch that Boyd was talking about earlier. You got to have it clean around the neck or a half a head. Ooh, try to dally and go, and it does. Look at that fire. Oh, it burned some rubber off that horn tonight. Yeah, I know, Quinn. I know. When it all comes out, though, Bubba Buckaloo and Cole Davidson at the top, the Minor brothers, Flanagan and Rich, Idaho. Spitz got some.
Look at this.
Look at that.
That's a tight pack. It should be a one-header tomorrow night in the team open. It's whoever does well in round 3 of 4 will advance. Thank you to Mrs. Bears and KHOU TV11 for bringing it to us. Folks, don't go anywhere, even if you're at home. Stay right where you're at. Bronc Busters are saddling them up.
Wondering what to do after the show? Head outside to a one-of-a-kind beer garden and enjoy the official beer of the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo at the Miller Time Bar. Discover a unique rodeo oasis. Come unwind with a hard seltzer or beer at the Topo Chico Hard Seltzer's backyard. And if you've worked up an appetite, head on over to the ranch for a casual or fine dining experience. So stick around. There's plenty to do and something for everyone at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo.
Captions are available on your mobile device. Scan the QR code on the screen to take you straight to our closed caption mobile app.
Look at here. This is our arena crew. You never get to see them. And all the work they do, they start early, they end late. Those are the talented people who work the gates, the shoot, the equipment. And they are sponsored by our friends at Cavender's Food City.
All right, y'all. Stare at the big screen. You might be on it. And when you're on it, we expect you to smile and wave. Are you smiling? Are you waving? How about this view outside NRG Stadium? The carnival is cooking. You talk about good food. There's a lot of it at Rodeo Houston, but inside NRG Stadium, we are going back to the bucket chute for the saddle bronc riding, presented by Energy Transfer, and last night it was Wild West Wade Sundell. That's right, Andy talked about him at the top of the show, and that guy is like fine wine. He's getting better with age. Ryder and older brother Rusty in hot pursuit. Ryder Sanford finished in the top 4. You got Jacob Scrawley, who's the world champion in there as well.
There's Logan Cook, Panther the horse from the Serving Championship string. No money on night 1. So the young man whose dad sells cars and sometimes has to act as a repo agent, trying to get his first score on the board, 75 for Logan Cook.
It is the first score for tonight, his second so far, but we still need to get him some money.
All right, 80 points last night for the world champion. You're about to meet Jacob Scrawley. He is 6th in the world, folks. If there's an Aggie in the house, here's a graduate at Texas A&M. Now, Logan would have been the youngest. You watched him ride a minute ago. Jacob Scully at 34 years old is riding like he did when he was 24. Come on! A world champion from Stevensville, Texas.
There's that scoot. You know, this horse, thank you for that A&M fight song, presents a little pucker factor. Because when he runs for those first 3 strides, you're just waiting for him to break. And when he does, Jacobs goes in full-blown show-off mode. 81 and a half for the Aggie. Way to go, champ. Got a gold buckle, too.
Glad to see this next young man back. I was there the night he broke his leg in Logandale, and it was not a pretty sight. But so happy to see Rusty back riding again, trying to add to that total over $1 million. See if we can get him his 6th trip to the National Finals Rodeo.
You want me to push him around a little bit? Are you going to stand?
Yeah.
Here.
Just have Goose complaint, man. This is a Calgary horse, and the horse is kind of squatting. So we asked Goose, the guy with the leather gloves, is he going to stand?
You want a fair shot at this horse. He's got a 50-50 percent buck-off ratio. When you ride him right, you win. You're going to win. When you don't, he'll get you in a bind, buck you off.
This horse is 14 years old, so he's got his pattern, as does Rusty. And those first few jumps give him a little bit of trouble.
The reason Rusty's not going to be as familiar with this horse is because for the previous 2 years, this horse has been in the bareback riding. It's just been recently, I think, 1 or 2 rides that they bucked him under his saddle. And that's his brother Spencer cheering him on, riding with him, and he's happy with it. Let's see what they think of Rusty. 78 points on the ride by the oldest brother.
All right, now we'll go international again for the Australian from Goondiwindi, Australia, but he now lives in Amarillo, Texas. The newlywed, Jake Finlay, at the age of 27. His father-in-law, one of the all-time greats, many-time world champion, Clint Johnson.
Want that side move?
For those of you that have been watching the Cowboy Channel, he just married Janie Johnson. How big raise! He's a big guy. Big guy to ride that free and easy.
Well, that's Tequila Sunrise, a big rafter. And you watch this horse kind of fades to the left. You can't really call it a circle. Fades over to the left, and Jake keeps hustling those feet, trying to get him as high in the neck as he can. 78 points for the Aussie turned Texas.
Yeah, he's tied for second and third for now. We're only halfway through the lineup, though. Here's Ryder Sanford, who split third and fourth last night. He's got a horse called Pearl. They were 88 at Fort Worth on this beautiful paint. There you go, Ryder. Nice job. Here's what I want you to watch when you watch this replay. Notice how they don't pull back on that rein. Notice how they don't pull it toward their belt buckle like they're trying to pull to hang on. They actually lift on that rein. You see his hand go forward as he lifts on that rein, and that really assists him in making a nice ride on that paint, 76.5.
The next man you're going to see is a world champion, Wade Sundell. We asked him, if you had a superhuman power, what would it be?
I'm already superhuman at home. I'm Batman because little boy Rankin, he's a ninja, so I go Batman and Bob's Catwoman.
That man lives his life with the throttle wide open.
Oh, he ripped the knob off. Once he got it to wide open, says we don't need to worry about this. Jeff Harrell's Highness. And that's high like in the air. Watch the grade. Oh, look at his feet. Look at his feet. Oh, he just won't quit doing that. At the age of 38, he thinks he's 18. He's done this at every major rodeo in the United States and Canada. Ladies and gentlemen, 77 tonight for the Wild Man. He's still good, Wade. You're still good.
He's at 37.50 in earnings if he stays there with that 77. This was the guy I really wanted to pick tonight because I think this horse from Calgary called Dynamite Delight. I mean, when Stetson Wright was 86.5 and Sage Newman was 88.5. You got to think that a four-time NFR qualifier like Cole Elshire, who has ridden some of the rankest horses ever, great bull rider, married to a beautiful lady from Montana named Kendra. He also was the stuntman in the movie Floating Horses, the story of Casey Tibbs' life. Should be good watching. Wicked move by Oliana. Hard right-hand turn to leave that chute. But I'm going to say Dynamite Delight covered a little more ground, bucked a little more rapidly than normal.
Snappy as she goes right in front of the bucking chute. But you're right, Boyd. You go from one side of the stadium to the other. You have covered some turf. 74 points. 74 for Elshire.
All right, will he get even? Because the last time Ryder Wright had this horse called Bay Nation in San Antonio, this horse hit him in the weeds. Bust him off. 25 years old, a Houston champion. Oh yeah, it's gonna work tonight. Yeah. With $2 million in earnings today, Chuck Kite says he ought to be 85 points or better. I'm going to go with you, Chuck.
Well, he was ready for the rematch, but his left foot was not above the horse's shoulder first jump out. It is going to be a no score, and you can see it on the faces of his brothers.
Oh, actually it was one brother and one uncle.
My apologies.
That's all right. This family, there's a lot of them. It's tough to keep them straight.
They get on more bugging horses than anybody else, boys. They're going to have some of those nights. Still proud of the right.
As the horses come out, the cowboys set their feet. The timing and rhythm is a necessity. You want your feet to be at the bottom as the horses' feet go to the top. When it all comes together, it'll give you something to clap and smile about. And other times you wince as it didn't go the way you wanted it to. Smile and wave, cowboys. We'll see how it all winds up in round 3. Here's how we stack them up tonight. With Jacobs Crawley with an 81.5 and a pair of 78. But here is the overall earnings. Wade Sundell nearly guaranteed to advance. Crawley and Wright and another Wright all at the top 4. Energy Transfer brought you the Saddle Bronc riding.
Well, coming up next, Boyd calls it cattle tackling. I call it bulldogging. They label it steer wrestling.
Hey, rodeo fans, join today's Chick-fil-A Houston Selfie Race. 3 lucky fans will battle it out across Houston, making their way to the finish line right here in NRG Stadium. Here's how to play. Step 1, take a selfie, and here's the best way. Step 2, upload your selfie on Twitter or Instagram using the hashtag Rodeo Houston. The race will take place in just a few minutes, so send in your selfies now. Welcome to the show.
It's time for Entertainer Trivia. Answer the question on the screen correctly for a chance to win season tickets to the 2024 Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo.
Visit the Fan Zone, presented by... That place should not be empty right now, and that was all those good-looking men up there. Texas Farm Bureau Insurance brings you the Fan Zone. You'll find it in sections 103 and 124. You can see Rodeo Houston champion saddles up close at both locations. And I believe they might have belt buckles up there for you if you get there fast enough. So be sure and head that way. Sections 103, 124, our rodeo royalty remains, signing autographs, so go meet them. You'll be glad that you did.
You are inside NRG Stadium and everybody is snacking on some great rodeo watching. Let's keep it up. A great audience deserves great entertainment. Deer wrestling. And it is brought to you by Mattress Firm. Who did it best on the first night of Super Series 4? It was Trellette Bauer. All smooth and a great run. As he torqued that black and white steer, it was worth $3,000 for the former Linderman Award winner. But he has some tough competition. That Josh Garner, a Rodeo Houston champ. Tyler Pearson, a world champ. And a couple of millionaires to boot. This will be fun to see.
Well, let's start it off with a Northern Cowboy, Cameron Moorman. Land of North Dakota finally got a hold of one. Whoa, that's not legal. That's not a legal ball. He's got to let him up, pick him up, roll him over the next time. That's what we call a dog fall. The steer says already been down twice. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Well, he had to use a little extra with the left hand. Man, the opposite 20-yard line.
From one end zone to the other. And the tackle, I call it tackling, but it's really not, it's wrestling. So if you knock one down on the way down, you got to let them back up. And if they don't fall the correct way, you got to let them back up again. That's a cowboy right there, folks. Might have a little silver in that goatee, but boy, the stories those gray hairs could tell. Tyler Pearson, world champion, got a check last night with an 18-1. I know we still got a free farm animal in the arena right now, so he's just waiting to let that steer go home. When you look at Pearson, I saw him last year at the big Stampede in Cody, Wyoming. Split the win with his longtime friend, Kyle Irwin there. Tyler has been to the finals 5 times. And like I said, last night, 18-1 would normally not place him anywhere. I guess it's just the difficulty of the cattle, a little tougher cattle maybe.
His resume is longer than my arm. A couple of years ago, he was the all-around champion at Salinas, where they call it California Rodeo. Hugo, Oklahoma, Cody, Wyoming. Boy, that was not easy. Don't quit. Come on, Houston, don't quit it. Stay with him. Let's make it work. You watch this replay, and you're going to find out what kind of athlete he really is. Now, at 37 years old, look at that. Hazer is way over there. He didn't need his help. He rode him to the right spot, and he had no chance for any help after that. Now, when you're down on your bum, it's hard to do it flat on your back. Ooh, man, in the 20s.
So in strolls the man who won night number 1. Trillette Bauer, the all-around cowboy, was 6-1, worth $3,000.
And he's got some things on his bucket list before he quits. I mean, Charles 38 too. He's been doing this a long time. He had to scratch one of them off his list last year when he went to Cheyenne, the world's largest outdoor rodeo. Now he's on his way to the world's largest indoor rodeo.
Trillette Bauer.
Ride hard, cowboy. He ain't scared. 50-yard line or not. Hang on, you get one step. Oh, he's hanging on.
Stay with him. Come on, Houston, go with him.
We're full-fledged calf scramble now. Full-fledged calf scramble. Folks, come on, let's hear for that cowboy try.
That's it, Bauer. Dynasty try, boys.
Well, watch, he's trying to get that inside horn and he can't get it. Now you get one step. You get one step. So now, when this steer gets up, as long as Trell has a hand on him, he can still keep going. Then he got him by the tail, 20-3. Well, I tell you, that's second right now.
Beaumont, Texas is KJ Carmen. Won Belleville, Texas a year ago. Got a little bit last night, but will go over the steers, and it will be in no time for the pride of Beaumont. No time for KJ Carmen.
Well, we talk about the barrier. Watch the blue rope in front of the horse. He's trying to hold him back. And that horse reared up when he did. He threw his front feet forward. He had no choice. But oh, did he reach a country mile. That's a hard hit on top of that. Okay, boys. You want to do this with Josh Garner? What a great interview he did last night, Andy, when talking about winning the rodeo in Houston.
Life-changing for Mr. Garner. Won this rodeo back in 2019. $750. Live Oak, California.
Well, a lot of these guys are going to ride the same horse. So if you're wondering where is he, well, he's right here at the bottom of your screen. He was getting on the horse that not the last guy rode, not KJ, but actually the horse that Trell rode. And so if you own the horse, and let's say we win first on the horse tonight,
right?
Okay, then you're going to pay 25% of those earnings to the guy that owns the horse if he's also the hazer. Pearson holding on to the lead at 13-4. That's Bauer in the number 2 money.
Plenty of room to move in, just like that. 4.7. The times we've seen will not scare the past champ. California's making something happen in Texas.
So, we're about to go. As you watch him do this a second time, that steer was slobbering all over him, and it didn't matter. He torqued that taco. You know, our next guy's his first time ever at Rodeo Houston, and we asked him if the veterans here have helped him out.
When I was down there, I'm kind of like and I'm sure they could tell that I was nervous. And all of them come up and like, hey man, it's just another rodeo, and you know, we high fives, and it's just like a brotherhood, and it's so nice to have all these guys as mentors.
Loved hearing him say it that way, and that's the truth in every event. Tyler Ravenscroft, Nebraska, and he is on a trail ride, a fast one, but on a trail ride tonight. Now, he was 18 last night. He's got one more shot. That's why I like the bracketed system. Bad, he could come back, win around tomorrow night, maybe catch up.
Well, when you look at these times, it goes from 4.7 to 13.4, 20-3, and then 22-7. So it is wide open for the final two steer wrestlers. I mean, in this event, you don't want to lay back off the barrier. You don't want to be too cautious, but you might want to think about being smart and just collecting the check.
I'll buy that. Time to get ready. For those of you watching on television, you see that big monstrous stage back there? When the rodeo is totally over and Andy and Patty have done all the mutton busting and calf scrambling, we roll that out into the center of this arena, and those big arms fold down, and we have a star every night. Here's a star in his own right, boys.
Yep, this is Blake Knowles. And that last name is synonymous with championships and bronc riding, steer wrestling. Here we come with Blake, 40 years old, 21st year as a pro. Ooh, got a little nervous for him for a second. And at 9 flat, he's going to move into the number 2 spot. Andy was pointing that out. You know, with the last two guys to go, don't want to lay off the barrier, but at the same time, they just want to make a businessman's run, because money. That's how you advance. It doesn't matter if you win it with a 9-second run or a 5-second run.
Same story for Nick Guy, Bob. After a no time last night and no money won, just a clean, penalty-free run for Nick could change his outlook going into the third round.
Well, this guy's been a superstar athlete for a long time, and Boyd's always quite modest about it. But Mr. Paul Hamus and his family come from Sparta, Wisconsin. This guy, a hockey player, and one of Boyd's brothers, they were MVPs together.
My nephew.
Nephew?
Yeah, it was my nephew. They were co-MVPs of the high school football team when they played together.
Proud of that.
I'm proud of Nick. Come on, Nick. I'm proud of him winning the Super Series. Oh, just a little bit of luck, please. I'm not asking for a lot. 11-2 will drop him into the number 3 spot. So, he'll get his first check of the week with that. But had that steer not dogfalled like this, oh, it was just... You used to say if I could buy him a bucket load of luck and pour it over the top of him, he'd do that for a guy like Nick Guy. So 11-2 will put him in the top 3. One thing about bulldogging, folks, you better have a calloused hand. This is not a game for people who are soft. You know, you're tackling 600-pound farm animals going 30 miles an hour. You're jumping off a horse, and you got to believe that there's enough of you to reach the steer you're trying to get. Then it's left horn down, nose up, and as the dirt flies into your face, you reach for the horn and end up with the tail. Either way, you end up with a run. Sometimes you just end up with a bruise. Wow. Big boys playing bulldogging at Rodeo Houston. And Josh Garner, the former champ from 19, is the champ again tonight, chased by Knowles guy Pearson. Here's the money. Okay, folks, nobody's guaranteed anything. Garner maybe, Etbauer possibly, but after that, there'll be 2 places to fight for from 6 guys. Mattress Firm brought you the Bulldoggers.
It's cowgirls and fast-running horses, barrel racing just around the corner.
Make the most of your day at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. After the concert, take a fast trip on a wild ride, or relax and enjoy a bird's eye view of NRG Park outside at the carnival. Relax in the Champion Wine Garden presented by Frost Bay, and raise your glass with award-winning wines from around the world. Pick up your boots and dance to live music in the Hideout every night from 6 p.m. till midnight. The Hideout, presented by Jim Beam, is designed especially for rodeo fans over 21. So stick around. There's something for everyone at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo.
All right, we told you a minute ago how to check. Now I want you to check the screen for the answer to the trivia question. The winner will be announced on March 19th.
Hey, look at the video screens. The Hey Dude cam is bringing out the Wild West in you and Leon Coffee.
Look at that hat.
See, you got cowboy hats. All kinds of fun stuff. There's some horns. Hey Dude, they are the world's lightest shoes. The most comfortable, cushiony, lightweight shoes. Because sometimes even your boots need a break. So pull out your Hey Dude. Oh, nice goatee. You like the horns better?
There is the aerial shot of the barrel racing pattern inside NRG Stadium as our friends at S&B Engineers and Constructors bring you the barrel racing Paige Jones, the former WPRA Resist All Rookie of the Year. No rookie last night. She was the only one to record a time under 15 seconds. Charleston and Cosell split second and third. The riding redhead, Emily Basil. Keep your eyes on her, especially on the top of the ground tonight. Let's start with that riding redhead. Off to the races we go. 15:04 last night was a fourth place finish. Number 9 in the world. Gonna pick up 5 right there. 5 seconds for every barrel that you knock over. That hurts me just to watch it.
2019, the total time with that 5-second penalty. Here is the young lady that took it all last night. Wayne, Oklahoma's Paige Jones with a 14.85. Great turn around the first. Second barrel looks good. Oklahoma's stirring up a ruckus. 14.78, and she just keeps getting faster.
All right, rodeo fans of the WPRA champions, we have watched Sarah Rose Wagon's pack for the last 5-6 years. She is married to the world champion steer wrestler. But folks, it's about her tonight. She's 38th in the WPRA standings. Let old Roni go. She calls him Ranger. Nice. Now this ain't the biggest horse, but this little burger got a heart the size of a basketball. Go, Sarah, go, go, go. Woo! From Gonzales, Louisiana, 15:37. We'll see if that'll hold now, Morty.
Had a little trouble around those barrels. Let's go with Emma Charleston, the Show Me State of Missouri. Split the second place money last night with a 15:03. Charleston, smooth on a pair. Tight corners, straight lines, that's what you're aiming for. Let's ride, little lady. And she does. 15:05 puts her in the number 2 spot right now. Charleston looking good on 2 runs.
Consistent. Stephenville, Texas is Brittany Sporer. I think she calls this horse Paint.
That's creative.
2022 Montana Circuit Finals champ. Starting with a left-hand turn, she'll finish with 2 to the right.
I love that lid.
She will knock over barrel number 2. That will cost her 5 seconds.
Like the yellow rose of Texas right there.
20 and 84. 20 and 84 for Brittany.
Now, everybody's going to talk about this next cowgirl winning the Heart of the North Rodeo in Spooner, and that's a big deal.
Yeah, she holds the arena record at Spooner, Wisconsin.
She did that last year, but the year before that, she won the Dodge City Roundup. So she's got a couple of big rodeos on her resume.
This is Brianna Holtzbach. That's a mouthful from Pinstrike, Minnesota. Here is a 3-time champion in a rope split way by. I don't know if she couldn't get him slowed up. 15:53. It's always been said the straight of the line from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, and from 3 back to that line. That 15:53 is 5 too long.
Right now, it is sitting 4th. 2 more to sweat. One of those includes Summer Cosell. Glenham, South Dakota won the Central Wyoming Fair in Casper last July. 15:03 last night. The opportunity is there to try and gain some more, Summer. Bringing a little sunshine in springtime. 14:68. Forget putting your name in the mix. Let's go to the top.
A full 10th of a second. Madisonville's not far from here, boys.
No, and this was my surprise last night. She was the first gunner on the ground, and things did not go well for Michelle. I'm hoping she can smooth things out tonight. Michelle Alley, Madisonville. You know where it is. Northeast of Bryan College Station, northwest of Huntsville. Help the Texas Cowgirl Raymond. Yeah, a little too much real estate. Took the scenic route on the way to the house. She headed north. That is going to be a 1560. And that will not change, Ray.
Well, the big time for the run of the night. At a 14:68. How do you do that when you're driving that horse into that turn? That's 1,200 pounds of fire deep in the ground. Try to make them turn and never let them slow down. Folks, there's so much more to this than just riding a racehorse. They got to be conscious of every move they make. All right, Andy, where did the money go?
The moves were good tonight, Bobby. Summer Cosell with a 14:68, then Jones and Charleston. And Jones and Summer. Both Paige and Summer are a lock to move on. But those final 5 and 6 spots are going to be tough. S&B Engineers and Constructors brought us the barrel racing.
I do believe our audience is liking the ladies' involvement. We're going to do it again, Houston. Breakaway roping with the Cowgirls. Brought to you by Oxy. When you look to Samantha Fulton, you look at a nod, ride, hitch, hat, and then stop your horse. He was 2,500 last night with another South Dakotan, Ricky Ingesser. At the top, McKenna, Ricky, Jordan, Fraley. Where are you going to bet, boys? Bet on them all, because if the luck of the draw works, they'll be quick.
McKenna Hickson, Live Pan, Texas, to set the pace. Last night, no luck. I think she drew the cap and ducked to the left last night. Hopefully she gets a better one tonight, and she does. That's the fastest run of this Super Series so far. The first Cowgirl of the rope one and under 3. 2.8 for McKenna Hickson.
Beautiful work.
That's how you bounce back right there.
Good call. Ricky Ingesser of Spearfish, South Dakota, split the win with a 3 and 2 on the first night of our 4th Super Series. Qualified to the National Finals of Breakaway Open last year after winning the Greeley Stampede just before the 4th of July. Another collegiate standout from a rodeo family. Gray Horse puts her in a good spot. 3.3. And this Ingesser stays solid. 2 qualified clean times.
I know there's somebody watching this on television and a few of you even in the arena. Why aren't they 1-6, 1-7, 1-8? Why aren't they 2-1? This is the biggest arena in the world. It's a football field in NRG Stadium in Houston. The box is deeper, the score line is longer. You're watching Jody Eden, Gatesville, Texas.
I like a longer score. Requires to be more of a horse, but I will say this has been thus far the most consistent breakaway roping field of any Super Series. I mean, we've had feast and famine in the previous 3, but they've just been unbelievably solid each run thus far.
Braley Shepard is part of that. He was 5-6 last night, and how many checks would that have won in previous Super Series? When last night it's goes. No money won for the Nephi, Utah native.
See the little green bandana? That's her flag. And she's got that rope tied out with a little piece of string. There you go. That puts her in the number 2 spot. Except she broke the barrier. That's a 10-second penalty for not giving the calf the required head start. Here's a look at it from an aerial cam. You see the rope on the calf? The calf could trip that barrier before the horse runs through it. You can tell by how the contraption is tripped whether the horse or the calf tripped it. And 3 and 2 turns into 13 and 2.
I just mentioned that long score. Macy Young comes from Whitman, Arizona. Here's the lady that was first and second in Cheyenne last summer. All right, so we get a replay of that. I want to just see how that loop went around there. She's going to be 3.4. Watch the loop. This will tell you how much fire she's got when she delivers it. Look at there. Put the dip in it. See that big sizzle figure 8? Back over the left shoulder. Good job, Macy.
You see the tug on the left hand? Oh my gosh, they're roping fast. That's an illegal run right there. Even though the rope broke away from the saddle, Andy, it did not hold tight on the bell collar catch. So it will be a no time for Shay Schaefer of Lake Creek, Texas.
No, there is only one legal catch. It has to stay on the neck of the calf, and when you see that back leg go in to break it away, it is going to be a no time. Here's the young lady that flipped around last night, Samantha Fulton of Miller, South Dakota. Fulton family raises some very, very nice quarter horses. 3 and 2 is worth $2,500. Can we do it again? Well, the loop will not go on for Samantha.
She drew the calf that happened last night for, who was it? It was Braley Shepard had that calf last night. And whenever one ducks to the left like that, it really does put you behind the 8 ball.
All right, sisters in competition. You met Ricky Ingesser a few minutes ago. She was the second out. Here's her sister, Taylor. Spearfish, South Dakota. This lady, whoa, is 2.5. And she broke the barrier. Would have been, could have been, should have been. She's a traveling nurse. That lady gives her time to help others. No money tonight. Give her a hand as she leaves the arena. That's a good lady right there.
There are so many variables. You saw the start. It's so important in making sure you don't get that added 10-second penalty. Then you come out and fire that rope. Hope that the loop that you threw fit. And after that, you stop your horse, look up, and check out the results of all the hard work you put in. Say thank you to your horse that put you in position. The competition just keeps getting tighter. McKenna Hickson with a 2 and 8, followed by Ingesser and Young. But here is the money board and the one that matters. Ricky Ingesser at the top with 4,500. McKenna, Samantha, and Macy, your top four, with one more round to go. As we say thank you to our friends at Oxy for sponsoring the breakaway roping.
Don't go anywhere. Holy hopping hamburger Batman. We're going to buck bowls when we come back.
Hey folks, I want you to check out the best seats in the house. They're called the Shoot Seats, presented by Head. Look there, right there behind the bucket chute. Having a good time, are you over there? Wave at us a little bit. Yeah, they are.
Visit the Fan Zone, presented by Texas Farm Bureau Insurance at sections 103 and 124. Take a picture with your favorite rodeo stars or get an autograph. Might get a chance to pick up a Rodeo Houston belt buckle.
Houston Methodist is the official healthcare provider and proud supporters of your Rodeo Houston sports medicine team. And joining me now from that sports medicine team, Dr. Kelly Larkin. And Kelly, your team was busy today in the Bareback competition. We saw Bronc Marriott get a little bit injured. I want to show his ride-up here so the fans can remember what happened. I want you to kind of tell us what happened and kind of give us a little update.
Sure. Okay, as you can see here, what he did, he ended up getting kind of stomped on by the horse on the right side of the ribs and in his upper abdomen. So from there, you can see right there where he got hit. From there, we brought him back to our emergency medicine area of the sports medicine team. He was seen by the emergency physician. Back there, we were able to do x-rays. He looks great. He's going to be riding again tomorrow.
All right, thank you so much. Thanks for taking care of him. Thank you, the sports medicine team, and thank you, Houston Methodist.
Oh, that was scary, but thank you to Houston Methodist. Thank you to that family right there. Are y'all ready to ride some bulls? Here we go. Thanks to our friends at Whataburger. Folks, Brady Portier showed us what to do in 8 seconds. Then spiked the landing. He got the 3,000, the big Texan with 2, Trey Holston, the young man from Kansas. Tonight, who's it going to be, boys? These are the baddest of all bad bulls.
But here are your bullfighters. On the left of your screen, that is the GOAT, Dusty Tuckness. In the middle, National Finals bullfighter Nate Justice. And the fastest man on cleats, that's Bo G. And everybody's friend in the middle of the arena, the Pro Rodeo Hall of Famer, your barrel man, Leon Coffey. But let's get to kicking with Cole Wagner. Montana man on a bull named Sue. Oh no. Comes down early. Bull's only been ridden 2 times, boys.
Yeah, and one of them was by Reagan Shippey in Lubbock last November. Who wants to ride a bull named Sue anyway, you know? That's the name of the bull, a bull named Sue.
You ought to get involved with one called Pearl Jam, man. Who comes up with these names?
I don't know, but I want what they're drinking.
Trey Holston is the man you're looking at. Glen Rose, Texas. But he comes from Kansas. He's a Prairie Circuit champion. This little bull, Pearl Jam, they've only bucked him 7 times. Young'un. They rode him once for 86.5. Oh yeah. We're going to do it again. We're going to do it again.
That's what happens with young bulls. Now he'll get a score, but I don't think it's going to be huge.
Yeah, but we only rode 3 bulls last night. They could just stay in there from 4th.
Watch this. He gets off, the bull goes, oh, there you are. Hey. Yeah, they're going to give him a rewrite option, but to Bob's point, they only rode 3 bulls last night, so Trey has to decide whether he wants the score or the re-ride bull called Po' Boy from Serving Championship. In the meantime, we're going to Scotty Knapp, Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I could find nothing on this bull called Sling and Shot. So that tells me this is another young one. This one might only be about 3 years old, Bob, when you look at his size. So he's obviously not completely full grown yet. He hasn't filled out, and there's no record of him anywhere. So let's see what Sling and Shots has done back home to justify a trip to Houston. Here we go.
That might have been it. That second jump to the right.
He just swung his...
Bull don't weigh 1,200 pounds.
Well, but he had a heck of a move right here. Goes to the right with a left-handed cowboy. Tosses him out the back. But a great job by our bullfighters stepping in and making sure that the cowboy's okay.
For the record, they offered Trey the re-ride or a score of 60 points. So that's why he's thinking about it, I'm sure. Okay, we've got 2 down, 1 ridden for a whopping 60. He declined the re-ride because he's betting on the bull powers to overcome the majority of the field, and he would get another check with that 60-point effort.
I'm going to have to agree with him. If he's been watching any of the history of any of the Super Series, now that bull, we got 3 guys with ropes.
Look out, Leon. He can see you, Leon.
All right, he said, let's lead him out of here.
Come up, buddy. You're all right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, not just a Hall of Famer, but this year in the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo Parade, he was the chairman, no, not chairman.
The Grand Marshal.
The Grand Marshal.
And you just saw him. He's allowed to direct traffic now because he was the Grand Marshal. So this is how that works.
This bull is like, that's what you, look, folks, he's young. He's like a college kid. Sometimes he goes to the library, sometimes he goes to the bar. You don't really know what you're going to get.
You're glad I went to the library.
Roscoe Jarbo.
You don't even know where the library was.
I'm still looking for your proof of degree. Where's the certificate?
I had a fever or 2, a time or 2, 98, 99.
Busted Sermon is the Brindle Bull underneath the 5-time NFR qualifier. When they ride this bull, they average about 83 points on him.
Roscoe Jarbo, New Plymouth, Idaho. Busted Sermon. Look at the bull, look out the gate. He's like, I know where I want to go. You just open it. You open it, and I'll take you with me. All right, Roscoe. Spike the landing tonight to go. There you go, Roscoe. Go. Change directions on him. Good job by the veteran. Yeah, it's tough to call a guy a veteran when he's only 26 years old. But he's been to the national finals. That's our Super Bowl of professional rodeo. 5 times. And we'll wait for them to communicate the score to our ears. And we'll deliver it to you. $76 points for Mr. Jarbo, which will bump him up to number 1.
All right, what are you going to do with Jack Gilmore?
Well, we have a young man and a young bull. Stranger Danger is the bull, and Jack Gilmore, at 21 years of age, won Bonifay, Florida last year.
Won extreme bull riding at Redding, California.
Needs to ride this bull. Uh-oh.
Well, we preach this all the time, and that's a little bitty bull. I mean, that bull is tiny, but watch his feet. Just watch his feet. You see him come off the rope? Hand is still in the rope. A lot of people think you hold on to the bull with your hand, but you don't. You hold on to the bull with your feet. And when that little guy, and by that I mean the bull, blew Jack's feet back, that's all there was for Jack. Now let's go to Brady.
All right, earlier we asked him, when you're riding, do you know when the 8 seconds is coming?
You dang sure have a little internal clock kind of ticking, but one thing I do, I just tell myself keep trying to keep riding because, you know, you go until it's over.
Well, this bull is rideable. Got a 15% buck off either way, one of the others. He's only been out 7 times. They've rode him 3 times. Here's the guy that won Cheyenne a year ago, Del Rio, Texas.
Get 2 checks. Get 2 checks. And you're advancing. Brady Portneer. Oh, yes, sir. When you got it going on, you got it going on. And Brady has got it going on. Turns back into his hand. Watch his free arm go right up by his left ear. That keeps his shoulders square with the front of the bull. His feet stay on the rope the whole time. Whenever they do get blown back, he fires them back to the front. We await the verdict, 81.5 for Portneer, and he's faxing it out telling us 82 is the official score.
Wait a couple of minutes, they might move it to 83.
I like the stock market, Bobby.
Yeah, here comes the gymnast. It's Jay Crossware. Louisiana in the same. Go, 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 go.
All they needed was a little inspiration as he sticks the landing.
As we wait on Jake's score, they corrected us again. It actually was 81.5 on Brady Portneer. Is Jace able to eclipse it? We know we like the landing. He just stepped off like he was getting off a subway. And now it is official. 82 points for Jace. Jace, and that gives him the lead now by a half point over Brady.
TB3. Trey Benton III, Richards, Texas. It was 83.5 last night. That was worth 2,000. Bull aptly named for this format. Money Talk.
Hey, real quick, report.
Oh, this guy was a rookie 10 years ago. He's 31. Resist All Rookie Award. He was just out of his teenage years.
Bring it now, let's go. Let's go. Don't wait, dude.
Easy, baby.
Not too much.
If he tries to take him laying down, that will be the most cowboy thing you're going to see tonight.
Yep. Hey, hold on. Roll, Fred.
Sorry, Bob.
I'm not saying a word. I want to roll it and go.
If anybody would do it, Trey Benton would try it.
You know, a lot of people don't know that he went to a Joe Beaver roping school as a kid. And you ever hand him a horse with a calf rope and send him out there, he'll make you proud.
We ought to have a match. Lon Danley versus Trey Benton III. 3 calves, 3 bulls.
I love that, Don Lanley.
The terror from Tularoca, New Mexico.
All right, so now we will reset everything and do it all over again.
And here's the thing that Trey has learned in the process, that this bull has a clock. What do you mean he has a clock? He's only going to stand up like that for so long, especially once you get your rope pulled. That's probably when he's going to start the squat again. So now Trey knows after he gets this bull rope pulled to the tightness he wants, he's probably going to try to speed up on taking his wrap, those kind of things, so that he doesn't get caught with that bull laying down again. So you can see him pulling the hide of the bull forward out from underneath that bull rope. Now he's got his tightness, and now he doesn't twist it. Some guys do twist when they run it across their ball. and he tucks it between his pinky and his ring finger. Now, this is where the bull will start to get stupid depending on how long it takes to get out. Remember he reared up the last time he was in there? All right, TB, let's go get him. Oh, TB3. 2 for 2. 2 for 2 for the veteran. How did you like that, Texas?
Ladies and gentlemen, his upper body motion just won him a bull run. I'm not judging, but it's got to be there. 86 and a half. He's a native-born Texan. How much? Whoa, ho, ho, look out. Woo! That bull come back to get him a second bite at him. He said, I think I'm safe right here. No, he isn't. Oh, both sheets and TB3. He's alive. Give him another hand. 86 points even. I stand corrected. 86. Oh, my goodness, isn't it fun when a hometown guy does well? TB, you're a hero, Judge. Watch this, folks. If you're going to let your kids try to do this, make sure they've got the right equipment. See the vest, see the helmet. This is not a sport or an involvement for the weak-hearted. Even the champions wear the right equipment. Get away from me. Now watch your bullfighters. Oh my goodness. Leave him over there. Oh my God, those guys are awesome. Then they scream at him, run!
Or you might get hooked in the buttock. All of that was brought to you by Whataburger. Hope you enjoyed the bull ride.
Coming up next is a very special tribute to some of our favorite athletes.
It is our distinct privilege to honor America's heroes. The men and women in uniform that make it possible for all of us to live in freedom and have pride for our country. Tonight, the Crown Royal Military Salute is proud to honor a United States Army Staff Sergeant. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Timothy Claiborne. Staff Sergeant Claiborne was deployed to Afghanistan in support of Operation Enduring Freedom in 2011. During his time of service, Staff Sergeant Claiborne has earned several awards, including the Army Commendation Medal, the Army Achievement Medal, the Army Good Conduct Medal, as well as the National Defense Service Medal, the Global War on Terrorism Medal, and the Overseas Ribbon and NATO Medal. Ladies and gentlemen, he swore an oath to defend this nation against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and he lived up to that oath with honor and valor. Let's hear it for Staff Sergeant Claiborne. For generations, the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo has welcomed professional athletes from around the world who come to compete and take part in one of the most exciting and celebrated events of the year. But the Cowboys and Cowgirls admit they be nothing on their own. They fully rely on their partners. And now Oxy is honored to present the other part of the team that these athletes cherish, the other part of their team that they love and fiercely protect, like this mother and daughter. Say hello to Fires Easy She's a 19-year-old great-grandmother, and for more than 12 years, she's been a smoking hot contender at Rodeo Houston. Beside her is her daughter, Fire Away. So the mom is Fire's Easy, the daughter is Fire Away. And in the pasture, Fire Away will run up to you and nudge your hand to get you to scratch your nose. These horses are loved and respected by the cowboy athletes that dare to ride them. And these ladies are leading the way for future generations, like Fire Away's little girl, 6-year-old Fired Up. So this is the granddaughter of the first horse and the daughter of the second. She was born in the middle of a freezing blizzard, but by the end of her first week of life, she was running and bucking in the snowdrift. And one day, her daughter, the youngest member of the family, Firecracker, will follow in their footsteps. Look at her, she's bucking already. You know, some horses are born to run fast, some are meant to work with cutting precision, but this family of athletes was born to challenge its riders. Bucking comes naturally to these broncs, and it's our responsibility and our privilege to make sure that they are cared for with respect and worth. You want to know why? Because they're a part of the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo family too. And they represent not only the legacy, but they represent the future of our rodeo. So let's give all of our human and animal athletes a big hand and say thank you to Oxy for presenting our Born to Buck legacy. By the way, if you'd like to see these mares and their colts up close and personal, you can see them in the Born to Buck exhibit presented by Oxy. It's just east of the Astrodome in the Junction.
Coming up next, it's Camp Scramble time. Okay, folks, thanks to our friends at Chick-fil-A. It's the Chick-fil-A selfie races. There it is. At the sends them off and along. We're already underneath the B-Dublin Bridge. Right turn, Clyde. Woo! There's our three flyers tonight. Now. Oh, get him out of the carnival. That's not going to work. Here we go back in the stadium. Howdy. You're in the way. Two loops thrown. Oh, they caught Howdy. Here things is funny. Woo! Well, Brando's 71. You are the Chick-fil-A champion of the night.
Hey, y'all, it's the Hey Dude Cowboy Cam. You know Hey Dude, the world's lightest juice. And y'all are looking good because we're putting you on the Hey Dude Cowboy Cam. You want Howdy on your forehead? How about you? You want a mustache? You want a beard? You want horns? The Hey Dude Cowboy Cam will put mustaches on anybody that deserves it. Oh, we see you smiling on the Hey Dude Cowboy Cam.
All right, it's Camp Scramble time, sponsored by Rock and Roll Denim. Now tonight, I want you to keep an eye out for the first calf scrambler to properly catch the calf and get him across the line, because that scrambler will have a chance to compete in the Super Scramble on March 19th. Let's go down to Patty Smith and Andy Schuyler. Here's Andy.
Thank you, Bob, for that glorious introduction.
We have 18 young men and 12 young ladies, all in 4-H and FFA tonight. The calf scramble. Patty, you've had some conversations with our competitors. I want to know what you know.
Well, I know we've got some kids who are really excited to do this. In fact, we've got the adrenaline pumping on these kids tonight, and I'll tell you more about that later. But first, let's meet the kids, starting with number 1, Caitlin Stanfield.
Rayleigh Taylor.
Nathaniel Davis.
Xavier Smith.
Casey Anderson.
Macy Stewart.
Noah Whitaker.
Kaylee Gophers.
Luke Hoysa.
Caitlin Stuckey.
Van Perota.
Montana Aikman.
Clayton Truitt.
Tyler Grimble.
Leah Garcia.
Michaela Rose.
Reagan Verhalen.
Kane Williams.
Ewan Rudolph.
Aiden Messler.
Jeremiah Stewart.
Jason Wilson.
Hannah Huffstutler.
Mackenzie Collier.
Austin Norton.
Matthew Norton.
Josh Jensen.
Caitlin Springett.
Tyler Koenig.
And Andrew Wind, your 30 calf scramblers. Let's give them all a big round of applause. Each and every evening we have 2 individuals that assist us in making sure that our calf scramble goes as planned. First, it's our calf scramble gate opener. That person will swing the gate open so that the calves can come in, and tonight we'd like to welcome Pro Rodeo Hall of Famer Leon Coffey. And our calf scramble starter. This individual will drop the hat to let our calf scramblers know that it is time to go catch calf. It is the Vice Chancellor of the University of Houston. Please welcome Eloise Bryce. Now that our exhibitors are lined up, Leon swings that gate wide open. We steer the calves towards the center of the box. Then Vice Chancellor Bryce will drop the hat to let our kids know it is time to go. The hat has dropped. Let's go catch a calf.
All right, they are off and scrambling. Oh, that's an interesting approach there. That's a look at number 4, Xavier Smith running hard. So is number 20, Aiden Metzler. We got a look at number 22, Casey Wilson. And there's a catch there from one of our big guys.
To catch the first part of it, then it is up to each and every one of our exhibitors that does catch to put that halter on and lead the calf inside the big box. If they do not do so, they'll have to keep trying until they catch one. We've got 15 calves, 30 kids. Not everybody's going to win.
Wow, number 18, that was Kane Williams from Dawson FFA. That was he's been 5 for 5 this year, so he knows what he's doing. He's obviously had some practice with this.
Perfect record. I like to hear that. Now there's a great camera shot of how you put the halter on. Okay? Got to go behind the ears and then around the nose so you can tighten it up. Great job by our camera crew. As we look at number 6, Mason Stewart. Cameron Yo, FFA, trying to make her way to the front end, Patty.
And that's number 22, Casey Wilson. He raises kids. He's also on the 400 relay team, on the track team at his school.
Track star. Hold on. Come on, Macy, hold on. Don't you dare let go.
And there's a look at number 27, Josh Jensen from Coronado FFA.
Great job, young man. There's number 8, Kaylee Goforth of Rowlett FFA.
She's a shortstop on her softball team. She has calf scrambled once before, but did not catch, so she's hoping to even up that record here. That's number 22, Casey Wilson, coming in.
Just a few more steps. Come on, Houston. Let's get behind Kaysen. There you go. Nice job.
Very nice job. And there's a look at number 19. That is Ewan Rudolph from Shadow Creek. He's on his football team on the offensive line. And you know, from these hard-running calf scramble kids to our rodeo athletes, Houston Methodist and Rodeo Houston Sports Medicine are standing by to take care of any injuries to our competitors. And catching a calf is really just the beginning of a year-long educational journey for these 4-H and FFA kids, isn't it, Andy?
Yes, it is, Patty. When exhibitors like Hannah Huffstutler of Love Lady FFA catch a calf, they will receive a certificate that gives them the opportunity to purchase a steer or a heifer to bring back to next year's Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. The rodeo has awarded $19.8 million in certificates to over 23,600 students since this program began in 1942. And there's so many life lessons that these animals teach the youth of Texas. They teach life skills such as the responsibility of caring for a living animal, financial accountability, record keeping, and decision making, and the communications necessary to keep in touch with their donors throughout this process. They'll also develop self-confidence and practical abilities needed to show these animals at a fall progress show in front of a judge. Hold on. And then when they come back to present their animals at next year's Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. And number 30 wants to be one of those individuals. That's Andrew Wind of Wharton FFA, trying to lead his calf inside our big box in the middle of the arena.
Yep, and that's number 14, Tyler Grimble. He almost had that halter on. He lost it. He got it back. He's being very sympathetic to this calf's needs here. He's hanging on tight.
I think he's also got to fix that halter too, Patty. Looked like it had flipped off the nose. And we've got number 20 down here on the south end, Aiden Metzler of Iowa Park FFA, getting up close and personal so he can put that halter on. There we go.
Yeah, Aiden's also one of our track athletes here, but he's a 2-miler, so he's got the stamina. I expected him to go deep here. Late in the game, still have the lungs. And number 14 down here, our friend Tyler Grimble, looks like he's kind of trying to get it straightened out. He's still got that rope a little twisted, and now he's being dragged. One of our girls down here is trying to get the halter on, and meanwhile, back at the ranch, Aiden Metzler.
It's tricky. It is so tricky in a stressful situation to not only catch the calf and then go, all right, this halter only fits in one direction? Now they've got it. There's number 13, Clayton Kurlick of Samuel Clemens FFA, getting some assistance from his fellow calf scramblers. Little teamwork going on. Come on, folks, let's pick it up for him.
Yeah, great job, Clayton. He's just completed the trifecta as he caught in San Antonio as well as Fort Worth. Getting some help from his friend Van Baroda from Schulenburg. That was number 11. And see him high-fiving Clayton there. Here's Tyler, still trying to get that thing in.
Tyler doing his best to regroup and put that halter on the way it is supposed to fit.
He just recently started roping, so let's see if his roping skills come in handy there. That is a look at number 6, Macy Stewart from Cameron Yo again. She loves to show animals, and she loves her family, and they're here cheering her on tonight. Let's hear it, Pam.
Just a couple remaining, trying to cross the line and make it an official catch. And a program that is literally changing lives for people just like this young man, Tyler Grimble, that did not quit. Excellent job. Pride and perseverance and a job well done. Come on, Macy Stewart, take us home.
Funny, Andy, how some of them just run in at high speeds and the other ones are just stubborn.
They have a mind of their own, but Miss Stewart can put her name in the record books as a catch on night number 11. Thank you to our sponsor of the calf scramble, Rock and Roll Dinner. Just around the bend, Chuck Wagon Racing, bring it on.
We want to welcome some lucky recipients to our Rodeo Acts of Kindness program. They've been moved down from the 6th level to these great seats. Thanks to Rodeo Acts of Kindness participants, Arctic. Now our arena crew, talking about those talented working people. They work to shoot the cattle. They are sponsored by Cavender's Boot City. When I tell you that Valley Sports Southwest will be showing and streaming all the rodeo performances live, you can get all of the details on valleysports.com.
So we hope you're enjoying every aspect of Rodeo Houston, whether it's the rodeo itself, the concert that's soon to come, or the carnival and all the fun shopping that is here. But please understand, the number one reason we are here, the number one reason we want you to be here, is to support youth and education and support agriculture. Now, one of the biggest ways we do that is by giving away scholarships. And the thing that you have to understand is these scholarships are life-changing for many of the students who are receiving their very first opportunity to go to college. So watch what we're about to show you right now.
Since 1932, the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo has committed more than $575 million to education and the youth of Texas.
I'm the first person in my family to go to college in the U.S., and my family is very proud of that. It's a huge milestone.
In 2022, more than 800 scholarships were awarded to Texas students, and every summer, new scholars are celebrated alongside their donors.
It feels amazing that I'm receiving the support to go to college.
Okay, folks, it's time for the Chuck Wagon Racing that Andy referenced a second ago. They're about to start. They're going to figure eight those two barrels, and then they're going to make 2 laps around the arena. Now, you got to do what Bob and Andy and I have done, and that is pick a favorite wagon. Pick a winner. I'm picking Ford. Andy's got Baylor. Bob's got Shell. Who do you have? And once you pick that wagon, you got to get loud and proud and cheer them on, because the 2 laps start right now. They're off.
Yeah, we're going to show you what that Shell wagon, what the course looks like. Remember, he told you it's a 2-lap race. All right, Shell's been in the lead. I think he's showing them enough. Now I want him to go to the lead. Stay there.
Yes, again, he's after lap number 1. Now is when the money is made.
Well, look out. Look at those white horses in that Ford wagon. Way out of the lead. Cut them off in the corner, Ford. Cut the corner.
Come on, Shell. You cut the corner. Attaboy, Shell. Yes.
I believe it was Baylor Madison.
I want to see it.
No, it was Shell, Baylor, then Ford. Watch the replay, folks. You'll see the first nose of a horse across the line. Shell. Here it is. It's Shell. I mean, easily by a nose.
I protest.
I would agree, and Shell is my wagon. All right, I'm going to take the 3 points because I haven't won anything in about a week. Baylor, Ford, and Shell.
Okay, heat number 2 is about to go. Chevron, Kroger, and Mustang Cat. I've got Chevron. Andy's got Mustang Cat. Bob's got Kroger. Who do you have? And if you've got them, cheer for them, because the race is on.
I do believe I could have a 2-win night. It's been 3 days since that's happened. How many people? Kroger. That's a good response. I don't have him on the inside to go to the lead for the second one. You ought to be back.
We're setting you up to take the inside. Chevron is setting you up, Andy. Watch us pass Mustang Cat. We're taking the inside.
Here we go. Black and yellow. You got it. Excuse me.
Pretty sure it was Mustang Cat.
I don't think so. That Kroger wagon came straight down the wall, beating by half a length.
Let's see. Freeze it.
Yeah, Kroger.
Kroger's gonna win it.
Yeah, that's okay, because I won the first one, Bob. We can share the win.
Yes, thank you very much. You're such a wonderful young man.
Did I just finish third in 2 races in a row?
Are you even in the race?
And you're shocked.
Yes.
Sure brings y'all a lot of joy when I lose. I wonder why that is. Everybody hates a winner.
Thanks to Chevron, Kroger, and Mustang.
You don't want to miss what's coming up pretty quick. Right around the corner in just a little bit. Mutton Busters! Soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, the contributions that our show volunteers have made are changing lives for Texas students. Here is the chairman of the board, Mr. Brady Caruth.
I'm the first legacy chairman of the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. And my, dad was the chairman for the 50th anniversary, and I happen to be chairman for the 90th anniversary. It's great that I can follow his footpath of his great legacy. My mother was very involved in the show, and she loved the school art committee. She was always very passionate that kids needed to have an opportunity.
Tonight, a Texas trucker stalked